Okay, so we have skin, we have eyebrows. Let's see, what else do we have here? We are moving on to contour. This is also the stage that I would say we're gonna fix, you know, if you need to conceal any spots or anything like that, this is the time to do it. I have some, I just don't care, and so I'm not gonna conceal anything right now. I made a mess with mine. By the way, this is a good concealer. It's Tarte Shape Tape, but this makes a huge mess. You can see the clumps over here, and I'm just realizing it made a mess. So in a way I like it, and in a way I hate it, because it's such a mess in the bottle, no matter what you do. So I don't know if I recommend that or not. They do have a version that's not liquid, that's not a mess, and that's pretty good too. So now we're getting on to contour. So you need something that is a brown tone to it. To contour. Now, you guys don't have to contour if you don't want to. We need our eyes to match and we need our lips to go, but if you don't want to actually do the contour process, you don't have to. So this is Tarte. My palette here is mostly empty. These are two highlighters right here, but this is the bronzer that I'm using down here at the bottom. So I am going to start with a brush. I don't want it too fluffy because I want to control where I'm putting this. The goal with bronzer and using it to contour is that you're trying to add sharpness to your face, right? So you want your cheekbones to stand out more. Maybe you want to narrow your nose a little. You want to make your lips look fuller. Maybe narrow your forehead a little. You can do those things. That's the goal. Don't do much. If you do a lot, they tend to look okay in photos, and in person you look dirty. And that's the only way I know how to explain it. Like, not in a bad way, but like you look like you've been playing in the dirt. Dirty. So I'm getting just a tiny little bit on here. Once again, I'm pasty right now. If I was tan, I'd be getting more on here. So, and I put it out here. So my cheekbone is here. I'm going to put it just underneath because I want this to be a shadow for my cheekbone. Yeah. So we're going to give my cheekbone a little extra shadow underneath it with the bronzer so that it looks like it stands out a little more. Now here's a fun trick with me. When you watch me put on anything on my face, my skin turns red really easily. So what you are seeing right now is not the bronzer on my face. That is my face turned red from me rubbing it. So it will change in a little while. It's very weird. It makes doing makeup exciting. But if you have pale skin like me, you might encounter the same kind of thing. Okay, so I am just creating a line with my cheekbone here, okay? Start very little, build onto it if you need to. Once it's there, it's harder to get it off. So now I'm just taking a tiny little bit right there. So I just want to make a little extra shadow underneath my lip. I am lucky to have a tiny bit of volume to my lower lip. My upper lip doesn't have any. So we're going to play up the lower lip a little bit. If you want to narrow your nose a little, you can. Take some down the sides. Once again, this is like the simple, easy version of contouring. You don't need much. Definitely don't use liquid stuff for this. I know they're showing it all over TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is kids are watching these days. But just use a little powder bronzer. That's all you need. Just a tiny little bit, not much. You can, you know, narrow the tip, whatever you want to do. Just a little bit. Don't do much. And then I take whatever's left on the brush, I don't add, and I just narrow the sides of my face just a little bit, okay? Okay, I take it back. I am actually going to add some because it didn't have enough left on here. But I'm not adding much. You should not be able to see what I added. Like, this should be very light. Contouring should not be super heavy. The only places we see super heavy contouring are in photos, not on live people, because it doesn't look good on live people if you use heavy contouring. So we're just doing a little bit. Yeah, the one other place you can get a little bit under the edges. Be careful with this because you can make it look like your face just doesn't match your neck if you get too much right here. But you can get underneath your jawbone just a little bit too. So wherever there should be a shadow, you're just accenting that shadow that you're trying to create. Okay, so that's all I'm doing with the contour.